Good morning, students. Today I am here to talk about the topic animal husbandry, which is a subtopic of the chapter Improvement in Food Resources. So the crop part we have already done. Now today we have to begin with animal husbandry. Now in this slide you can see that we are going to study about these 4 branches. That is, in animal husbandry, the first one is cattle farming, where the rearing of the cows and buffaloes for their milk, we will be studying about that. Poultry farming is the second one, whereby raising fowls for their eggs and meat will be done. Then we have the third one, that is your fish farming, whereby capturing and culturing of the fish for their meat will be done, will be studied by us. And the fourth one is apiculture, whereby beekeeping for their honey and wax will be discussed. So first we should talk about cattle farming. But before cattle farming, we must know about animal husbandry. Now you all know the branch of agriculture that deals with the feeding, caring and the breeding of the domestic animals is called animal husbandry. Husbanding actually means to use a resource carefully without any wastage. So animal farming or animal husbandry, it requires proper planning, proper way. Everything has to be done beforehand for the purpose of domestic animals' shelter, its health, disease control, breeding, and the products that will be produced that should be properly utilized economically. Now our domestic animals or livestock include those animals which are raised for farming, and in our syllabus we have to study only about cow and buffalo, though I have given you many examples like yak, horse, ass, goat, sheep, camel. All these things can be reared and cultured and taken proper care of, and their products and may be utilized for the purpose of human beings making their life more easier. But as of now, we will only talk about cow and buffalo. Now, as the population is increasing, we know that India's population is increasing. So 1.3 billion it has already become. So the living standard is also increasing. Thereby the demand for milk, egg, meat, everything is going up. And the awareness that yes, we have to lead a healthy life, a fit life, and with a proper lifestyle, all these things are also growing, gaining importance in our lives. So this branch of animal husbandry, that is your cattle farming, has gained lot of importance. In this slide, students, you can see that I have just mentioned the different breeds of cow and breeds of buffaloes. Now in that breeds of cow, I have just categorized them into indigenous breeds, exotic breeds and cross breeds. Indigenous breeds, in that I have Sahiwal, Gir, Red Sindhi, Tharparkar. In exotic breeds, I have Jersey, this is a very common name, Brown Swiss, Holstein Friesian. In cross breeds, I have taken 2-3 examples, Curran Swiss, Curran Fries and Frieswald. Among the breeds of the buffaloes, I have cited examples of Murrah, Mehsana and Surti. So these are the different names that you are supposed to remember. Sometimes you get objective questions on this part of this topic. Now, milk production depends to a large extent on the duration of lactation period. So everyone should know that what is lactation period. Lactation period is nothing but it is the period of milk production after the birth of a calf. That is when you know that a baby cow is called a calf. So when a calf is born and after the birth, the cow starts producing milk, and till the next, till the next calf is born. So that period is the lactation period, and that is a very much desirable characteristic that a cattle farming person requires, because that will lead to increased productivity of milk. Now here the exotic breeds like Jersey and Brown Swiss, they are selected mainly because of their long lactation periods. And the local breeds which I have already mentioned above, Red Sindhi and Sahiwal, the Indian ones, they show excellent resistance to diseases. That means they do not fall a easy prey to diseases, because they are very well adapted to the Indian condition, or we can say because of their genes. So they are resistant to diseases, and the exotic breeds are having a long lactation period. So if these two characters can be combined, and if we get a third animal with both these characters, then definitely that is going to be a superior animal with all kinds of desirable superior qualities. And with that, we have some examples. Curran Swiss, this is a crossbreed example whereby Brown Swiss and Sahiwal are crossed, and then we get Curran Swiss. Then we have Curran Fries, which is a crossbreed of Holstein, Friesian and Sahiwal. So one is foreign and one is Indian breed. So this way the crossbreeds are developed with the desirable characteristics, and that they are very popular in the market. Now, various practices that are necessary for raising animals for food. What all things a person who is into cattle farming needs to keep in mind. He has to take care of proper feeding of the animal. That is, what kind of food this particular animal is to be supplied with. We will definitely talk in detail about the food requirements. Then comes the shelter. What kind of shelter? The place where these animals have to be kept. There is a particular design of the place of shelter that needs to be taken into consideration. Then that person needs to have an idea about the different kinds of diseases that these cattle can fall prey to, and how to prevent them, and if at all they are having the disease, then how to cure them. Then proper breeding of the animals. Normal breeding often happens on its own, but if cross breeding is to be done, then what all techniques can be used, and proper economic utilization. That means how the products that is being produced by the animal can be properly utilized so that he gains maximum economic benefit. Now, cattle husbandry is mainly done for two purposes: milk and draught labor. So what for the production of milk, all of you know that they give milk, and draught labor means for agricultural work, for doing different kinds of work that help the farmer. That helps the farmer, that is like tilling the soil, then for the purpose of irrigation, carting, carrying luggage from one place to another. Now, Indian cattle belong to two different species. That is Bos indicus, that is the cow, and Bos bubalis, that is the buffalo. It is also known as bubalis or Bos bubalis. Now, milk producing females are called milch animals. That is, the females which give you milk, they are called as the milch animals. And those which are used in the farm for the purpose of labor, that is for the purpose of doing these kinds of hard work, they are called as the draught animals. Now, what is the quality of a buffalo milk? Like, how is the buffalo milk? It is very productive, and buffalo actually is a very productive and economic animal. And buffalo milk is very much rich in fat. That's why it is always advisable to go for cow milk rather than buffalo milk. milk, especially for the heart patients. Then it is rich in vitamin E, protein, calcium, phosphorus. It contains low sodium, potassium and cholesterol. Buffalo milk is ideal for making, for milk products. Definitely this milk can be used. That is khoa, rabdi, dahi, ghee and other things. Now vitamins such as A and D, they are present in good amount in the buffalo milk. So as I have already mentioned, the different kinds of practices that the farmer needs to undertake to keep these animals, just we have talked about the different headings. Now here let us discuss it. The requirement of proper cleaning and shelter for cows and buffaloes is a must. That is, the area where they have to be kept, that needs to be clean and properly ventilated. It should be airy as well. Okay, and why is that we should take into consideration all these conditions? The reason is that they should not fall sick. So that is for the production of clean milk, because if that place is dirty, and milk is an edible product, so definitely the product would also get affected. Then if the place is dirty, then the health of the animal is also at stake. So we need to take care of these things, the health of the animal as well as the cleanliness of the product. So how to clean the animal? By brushing, because lot of cow dungs, or the dung part and many other dirt and insects and other things, they are stuck to the external surface and get entangled in the hairy part of the skin. So they can be easily brushed so that the dirt and loo and other things can be detangled and thrown away. And they should be sheltered under well ventilated roofs and that protect them from the external weather conditions, that is your rain, heat, cold, etc. Floor of the cattle shed also should be sloping. Can you understand what is the reason why it should be sloping? So that it remains dry, because it has to be cleaned on and off with water. So if it is not sloping, the water will not drain, and that way it will be wet, and if it is wet, then it might invite bacteria and fungi. So facilitate cleaning, facilitate easy cleaning. That area needs to be slopy. Now the requirements, that is what kind of requirements, food requirements this dairy animals have. Mainly they have two kinds of requirements. One is the kind of food for the maintenance. Maintenance means what? The food required by the animal to support it to perform the basic functions of the life. And the other part is the milk producing requirement, that is the type of food required by the animal during the lactation period. And this maintenance requirement is actually dependent upon the body weight, while milk production part is dependent upon the level and the composition of the milk. So the richer the food we supply to the animal, the better will be the quality of milk. Now coming to the kind of food that is the component of a cattle feed. It is mainly roughage and concentrate. So what is a roughage and what is a concentrate? Roughage is that part of the food which mainly contains fibers, such as your hay, then legumes, different kinds. Then we have berseem or this cowpea, and then different kinds of straw of cereals, then green fodder. All these things will come under the category of roughage. And concentrates means those food which is used to feed the cattle and the buffaloes, mainly are a mixture of substances which are rich in one or more of the nutrients, like your carbohydrate, fat, proteins, then minerals, vitamins. Concentrates are usually low in fibers, and they contain high amount of protein and other nutrients. Concentrates, they include your cotton seeds, oil seeds, grains of maize, barley, jowar, bajra, gram, and their byproducts such as wheat, then gram, husk, then oil seed cakes, then molasses. These molasses, you can say, these are the main ingredients of your concentrates. So food for the cattle can be discussed under two headings: roughage and concentrates. Roughage containing fibers mainly, and concentrates which is rich in nutrients. So that is what you have got an idea about the cattle feed. What kind of food the cattle need to be provided with. Here you can see some pictures, and you know these animals that are shown in this, they are not normal. They are adversely affected by diseases, some kind of skin diseases, and they are not well. So I've just picked up some pictures to show the health condition of the animal is not good, and that leads to mortality, death. So we need to know about what kind of diseases affect these cattle. Now diseases, I have put it under three headings: viral, bacterial and fungal. Now in viral, I have talked about mainly three diseases: cowpox, foot and mouth disease and rinderpest. Some of the names you are familiar with. Cowpox, I have also given you the symptoms. In cowpox, what happens? There is fever and small nodules, like wounds, like wound-like formation happens on the body. Foot and mouth disease, blisters are formed on the mouth and foot, and there is loss of appetite. The animal does not want to eat, and it usually suffers from high fever. In rinderpest, there is diarrhea and discharge from the eyes and nostrils of the animal. There will be continuous watery discharge, and it does not want to eat. It loses its appetite. Now in the bacterial category, I have talked about anthrax, tuberculosis and salmonellosis. In anthrax, the animal suffers with fever and milk secretion is definitely decreased. In tuberculosis also, the animal suffers from fever. There is in fact infection in the udder. Udder means that area which is used for just deriving the milk from the cow animal's body. Then the lungs and intestine and other parts, you know, there is infection over there. Then in salmonellosis, there is fever, diarrhea with blood clots. So in the diarrhea, the stools have got clots of blood. In the fungal, I have just discussed about two diseases: ringworm, that is, it will have small circular patches on the skin which is visible from outside, and actinomycosis, that is inflammatory disease, that is abscess in the mandible and maxillae. These are the two bones of the jaw and other bony tissues of the head. These are affected, and that leads to discomfort, and the animal is absolutely sick, is totally sick. So these diseases have to be treated, and then the doctor who treats these animals, that doctor is called as a veterinary doctor. So they can definitely be treated, and if we take certain precautions, then these diseases can be prevented. As we have discussed earlier, that is your proper aeration, that is, and light, and proper cleanliness. All these things are kept in mind in the place of shelter, then definitely these animals will not fall a prey to these kinds of diseases. Now in my next class, I would talk about poultry farming. That's all for now. Thank you.